SDR News coverage of InterOp 2014 in Las Vegas features interviews with a number of InterOp exhibitors, including this in-depth interview series, which was recorded and provided by HP.
So I want to introduce Jeff Enters. Jeff, thanks for joining us. So Jeff is a behind-the-scenes hero at InterOp, and what he does every year is spend countless weeks before this whole event even starts, hidden away, tucked away in labs and doing all kinds of stuff. So maybe you can talk a little bit, Jeff, just about briefly about the activities that kind of led up to InterOp and all the stuff that you do behind the scenes. And then ultimately, I should have said this, but what Jeff does for HP is really he represents us from a HP networking perspective and gets our equipment put into the actual network that is running InterOp, and that's what's called InterOp Net. And so we have a whole bunch of different pieces, so parts of our solution, HPN solutions, planted throughout running this production network, as well as IMC, our Intelligent Management Center. So Jeff, let me turn it over to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eric. Thank you, everyone. So I'm Jeff Enters, as Eric mentioned. I'm with our Technology Services Organization, part of our worldwide portfolio team, developing our different service offerings that the field is out there delivering: strategy, assess, design, architect. So as part of that, we started helping out with HPN here at the show, putting together this network, as Eric mentioned, this network that is behind the show that really makes the show happen, right? All the vendor booths, the keynote speaks, the registration. We put together this production network to make the show happen. So it's a true live production network. UBN, which is the parent company of InterOp, gets together about 20 different vendors. So we get about 60 people or so, 70 people that come together to make this whole thing happen. 20 different vendors, a bunch of volunteers come together to make this happen, put a bunch of these different products together and showcase our different solutions. So this year, HP has continued to step up our presence within this network, and we are now actually doing all of the data centers that are part of this network. So let me give you a quick overview here on what that is. So here's what it looks like from an HP perspective. There's 3 data centers that feed this show: Sunnyvale, California, Denver, Colorado, and Newark, New Jersey. And here's the Las Vegas show, and then there'll be the InterOp New York show. So there's multiple gigabit feeds going around all those data centers, and there's 2 gigabit feeds coming down into the show. So HP now has everything from a switch, route, and IPS standpoint in all 3 of those data centers that are feeding the show. So actually every single packet that comes in or goes out of this network is going across HP gear. IPSs are definitely helping us from a protection standpoint, and we got the routers up here. Just an interesting note from a technical standpoint on the routers. These routers have multiple BGP peers going up to CenturyLink, providing our services, and then they have their peering east and west from an IBGP standpoint. So each one of these routers is actually holding about 1.93 million routes in each routing table across these 3 data centers. And then we have our hot stage facility down below here, which is in Brisbane, California. And that's where we actually stage all this gear. So a few weeks before the show, all these vendors get together in that warehouse. We start unboxing stuff, plugging it in, making it all happen. And then it literally gets put on a truck and shipped out here. But these data centers stay up year-round. From an HP perspective, this is our IMC that is actually live. It's actually a live feed. I just put kind of the background on there so you can see the devices. So like, for example, right now we got about 236 meg heading out live, and we got about 116 meg coming in. Right now we've decided to run most of the traffic through our SFO link out to public, but this is actually our live feed. IMC is a differentiator for HP in the fact that we are able to not only see our gear and see how healthy it is and monitor it, but we're able to see all the other vendors' gear. When you get 20 different vendors together, it's important for us as one of those vendors to be able to understand what's happening on the rest of the network, so we're not troubleshooting problems that are not necessarily ours. So yeah, it's a great look at it. IMC also, we put a C7000 out, a blade chassis out in our Sunnyvale, California data center this year, and so we're hosting a bunch of VMs out there, again, from whether the network providers need it or the show management needs it, they can host services right out of that data center. So this is a live feed of those VMs hanging off that data center, really showing what IMC can do to look at that. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good look at it. Anything else I'm missing, Eric?
No, that seems like you covered everything, and it's awesome how much of a presence we have. Like I said, you're kind of the man behind the scenes. Nobody knows about it. Nobody really gets to see this. So I really appreciate all your help, all the effort you've put into doing this. Like I said, I know, everyone shows up here and just expects to have internet access. People in the booth come in and just expect, it's kind of like we used to say in the voice over IP days, dial tone is a God-given right, and it's like internet access is a God-given right here. So it's awesome to see all of our technologies in play.
Yeah, I think that's an important point too. This, you really think about it, it's about a 10-day network that we have to have live here. So you want to talk about a network that has to be available 100% of the time. This is it. We don't have any time for downtime. We have taps at a number of different points along the way, so that anytime there is a problem, we can immediately start troubleshooting down to packet level. No turning on port mirrors or anything like that. We just don't have time for it. So it is really a true live production network that has to be up 100% of the time, because obviously doing things like this, we don't want any breakups. So
and so the feedback I've been getting, and I apologize for having headphones in my ear, but the feedback I've been getting is hopefully that wherever you are across the world, you're getting a good, clear, clean experience when it comes to the video stream and the audio stream. So hopefully everything's going well for you. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.